Have you ever stood up from your favorite chair only to feel your legs wobble beneath you? Or tried walking up the stairs and found yourself more out of breath than usual, your thighs burning from the effort? You might chalk it up to age, but what if I told you there's something deeper going on? Something quietly stealing your muscle strength while you sleep, sit, and go about your day. Now here's the surprising part. There's a tiny, sweet fruit you've likely walked past in the grocery store, maybe even tasted before, and dismissed without knowing it holds one of the most powerful secrets to restoring leg strength, muscle tone, and balance. Most seniors don't eat it often enough. In fact, your muscles could be disappearing faster than you think, simply because this fruit is missing from your routine. A shocking number of people over 60 suffer from a condition called sarcopenia. It's muscle loss due to aging, and it affects nearly 1 in 3 adults over 55. But there's a twist. Some fruits can actually protect your muscles and help rebuild strength naturally. And one in particular is standing out in new research as a true powerhouse. So, what is this tiny fruit? And how does it work inside your body like a natural, delicious defense against weakness and fatigue? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only learn what it is, but exactly how to use it to feel stronger, steadier, and more energized in just a few weeks. Let's be honest, aging isn't easy. Some changes sneak up on you slowly. One day, getting out of bed feels like it takes more effort than it used to. Another day, you notice you're holding onto the banister more tightly when going down the stairs. It doesn't happen overnight, but gradually you begin to realize that your body isn't as dependable as it once was. That strong pair of legs you walked miles with? They're beginning to feel a bit shaky. And maybe the worst part, no one really warned you how quickly muscle can fade, or how deeply it affects your independence. Now imagine this. You're out shopping. You bend slightly to pick up a can of soup, and suddenly your leg trembles, not from pain, but from weakness. You laugh it off, maybe even hide the struggle. But inside, there's a flicker of concern. Why did that feel harder than it should? That's not just aging. That could be sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. Sarcopenia is more common than arthritis, and yet rarely talked about. It doesn't always announce itself with pain or dramatic symptoms. Instead, it steals from you, quietly. Balance, stamina, and confidence. You may notice you get tired faster, your steps feel shorter, or that familiar feeling of heaviness in the legs after even a short walk around the block. These little signs aren't just about being out of shape. They could be your body's cry for help, a signal that your muscles are being undernourished, underused, and slowly deteriorating. And the consequences go far beyond tired legs. When muscles weaken, the entire body suffers. Posture changes. Blood sugar becomes harder to manage. Even the heart has to work harder. And worst of all, falls become more likely. A simple trip can lead to a hip fracture, a hospital stay, or even worse, the loss of mobility altogether. Did you know that nearly 300,000 seniors are hospitalized every year due to hip fractures, most of which are caused by falls? That's not just a number. That's mothers, grandfathers, neighbors, people whose lives were changed in a single moment. Now here's the most heartbreaking part. Many of these changes are preventable. Yes, muscle loss is linked to aging, but it's not inevitable. You are not powerless in this. In fact, the right foods, the right habits, and the right awareness can do more than slow the process. They can reverse it. And this brings us back to something surprisingly simple. A fruit. A tiny, powerful fruit that doesn't just taste good. It helps your body rebuild. Rebuild muscle tissue. Rebuild energy reserves. Rebuild your sense of strength and steadiness. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a gym membership. You just need to know what to look for and how to make it part of your day. So what is this secret weapon against muscle decline? And why has modern research suddenly taken a strong interest in it? We'll get there soon. But first, let's look a little deeper at what's really happening inside your body. and why so many seniors are losing muscle even when they think they're eating well and staying active. Let's take a moment to really understand what's going on beneath the surface. When we think of strength, most people picture big muscles or heavy lifting. But for seniors, strength isn't about biceps or gym routines. It's about the quiet power in your legs that helps you stand without wobbling, the core strength that lets you sit up without bracing yourself, and the confidence to reach for something high on a shelf without fearing you'll tip over. This kind of strength, unfortunately, is the very thing aging takes aim at. After the age of 30, we begin to lose about 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade, and that loss only accelerates after 60. By the time you hit your late 70s, you could have lost up to half of your total muscle mass, often without fully noticing until it's too late. This isn't just about vanity or looking in shape. Muscle is critical for balance, blood sugar control, joint stability, and even brain health. That's right. Studies now link muscle strength to better memory and lower rates of depression in older adults. So why does this happen so easily? One major reason is something called anabolic resistance. In simple terms, your muscles stop responding as efficiently to protein, the very nutrient that builds and repairs them. So even if you're eating meat, eggs, or dairy, your aging body may not absorb and use those proteins the way it once did. Think of it like trying to water a garden through a kinked hose. The water's there, but not flowing where it's needed. Another issue is low-grade inflammation, often called inflammaging. Over time, our bodies build up tiny, silent levels of inflammation that make it harder for muscle tissue to recover and grow. This is especially true if you're dealing with chronic conditions like arthritis, diabetes, or cardiovascular disease. Your muscles are working against the current, trying to stay strong in a storm of inflammation that never fully calms. Then there's a big, sneaky culprit that most people overlook: poor circulation. When blood doesn't flow well to your limbs, your muscles aren't getting the oxygen and nutrients they need to thrive. You might feel cold feet, numbness, or cramps. But deep down, those are signs your muscles are being starved, slowly losing the fuel they need just to keep going. And here's where it gets even more frustrating. Many seniors think they're eating healthy. They have a salad, maybe some toast, a bowl of cereal. But what's often missing are the right micronutrients, especially potassium, magnesium, vitamin D, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds. Worse, some everyday choices, even ones that seem healthy, can accelerate the problem. We'll talk about that more soon. But maybe the most heartbreaking part is what happens emotionally. When your body starts to feel weaker, your confidence goes with it. You hesitate to go on walks. You avoid stairs. You skip outings with friends or family because you're not sure you can keep up. Slowly, social life shrinks. Mental health suffers. And all of it traces back to muscles, or more accurately, the quiet, unspoken loss of them. I want you to imagine for a moment. What if, just by making 1 or 2 changes, you could feel steadier when you stand up? What if you could pick up your grandchild without that twinge of doubt? What if you could walk farther, not faster, just farther, without your legs begging for rest? Because the truth is, that kind of change is possible. Your body, even at 60, 70, or 80, is still capable of healing and rebuilding. You just need to give it the right tools. And that brings us to something most people overlook: a fruit that's been quietly studied in labs, tested in clinics, and shown to activate muscle repair in a way no one expected. It's small, sweet, and surprisingly powerful. Are you ready to hear how this tiny fruit could be the missing piece your muscles have been waiting for? It's easy to feel overwhelmed when you realize just how much strength you may have lost over the years. The stairs that used to be simple now feel like a climb. Standing up from the couch may require a little push from your hands. Even walking around the grocery store can leave you feeling like your legs are quietly protesting with every step. But here's the part we don't talk about enough. It doesn't have to stay that way. Yes, aging makes things harder. That's true, but it doesn't mean your body has stopped responding. It doesn't mean you can't build strength again. In fact, the human body is far more resilient than we give it credit for, especially when it's given the right support. And what's most encouraging is that science is now revealing small specific changes that can lead to measurable improvements, not over years, but in a matter of weeks. Let's go back to that feeling in your legs. The tiredness, the heaviness, the slight wobble you don't always talk about but definitely notice. Those are your muscles asking for help, not shouting, just quietly reminding you they're still there, still working, but weakening. What they need is fuel. Not just calories, but the kind of cellular fuel that strengthens fibers, reduces inflammation, and helps your body hold on to the muscle you still have. Now, here's the surprise. That fuel doesn't always come in the form of a pill or protein shake. Sometimes it comes from nature, something as humble as a fruit that contains exactly what aging muscles crave. Polyphenols that fight inflammation, antioxidants that protect tissue, and micronutrients that promote blood flow and recovery. And no, it's not a miracle berry from the Amazon or some exotic fruit you'll never find. This fruit is likely already in your grocery store. You've probably walked past it a dozen times without knowing what it could do for your strength. Researchers have quietly been testing this fruit in clinical settings, especially for people over the age of 60, and the results are promising. Seniors who consumed it regularly showed not just better grip strength and leg mobility, but also improved balance and fewer falls. That's huge. Because here's the truth. It's not always about building bigger muscles. It's about preserving what you have. It's about keeping your muscles functional, responsive, and energized. And sometimes, the biggest breakthroughs come from the smallest additions. So instead of asking you to change your whole lifestyle or follow some complicated regimen, I'm here to offer something much simpler, a single tiny fruit that may hold the power to change how your legs feel in the morning. Something you can easily enjoy before bed, or with breakfast, or as a little treat in the afternoon. No stress, no struggle, just a quiet ally for your body. Because you don't need a revolution to feel stronger, you just need the right step in the right direction, and consistency. And if you're thinking it's too late, or that your age makes it impossible to recover, let me gently challenge that thought. It's never too late to strengthen what matters. Whether you're 58 or 88, your body is still listening. And when you feed it right, it responds. In the next part, we'll reveal exactly which fruit this is, and why it's become the focus of so much research in senior wellness. You'll learn how it helps your muscles hold on to power, how to add it to your day without disrupting anything, and why it might just be the simplest health decision you make all week. The wait is over. The tiny fruit we've been leading up to, the one that quietly holds the power to support your muscle health, reduce inflammation and restore leg strength, is none other than the humble tart cherry. Now you might be thinking, tart cherries? Aren't those just for desserts or pie fillings? That's the common impression. But here's where science catches up with tradition. Because tucked inside this small sour fruit is a treasure trove of healing compounds. And seniors over the age of 55 may benefit the most from its surprising strength-boosting properties. Let's start with what makes tart cherries so unique. Unlike their sweeter cousins, tart cherries are rich in natural antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents, particularly a group of compounds called anthocyanins. These are the deep red pigments responsible for their bright color, and they're known to calm inflammation in joints and muscles, reduce oxidative stress, and even help the body repair damaged tissues, all of which are critically important for aging adults. When you're younger, your body naturally bounces back from inflammation and strain, but after 55, the repair process slows down. That's when leg stiffness lingers longer. That's when muscles ache after short walks. That's when you start to feel like your strength isn't what it used to be. But studies show that the compounds in tart cherries can help reverse some of those effects, not by building muscle out of thin air, but by preserving what you already have and helping it recover more efficiently. Let me share one striking example. In a study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition, older adults who consumed tart cherry juice daily for just 7 to 10 days showed improved recovery from physical activity, reduced muscle soreness, and even lower levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation often elevated in aging adults. Another study from the European Journal of Nutrition found that tart cherry supplementation improved grip strength and reduced pain in seniors with muscle fatigue and osteoarthritis. It's not magic. It's simply giving the body what it needs to defend itself. Tart cherries also have a natural benefit that many seniors don't expect. They contain melatonin. Yes, the very hormone that helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle. That means that a spoonful of tart cherry juice before bed not only helps relax your muscles and soothe inflammation, but it can also improve your sleep quality. And that's huge, because deep restful sleep is when the body heals best. And when you sleep better, your muscles recover better, your energy improves, and your legs feel less sluggish the next day. So how can you add this into your life? It's as simple as a tablespoon or two of tart cherry concentrate mixed into a glass of water before bed, or a small glass of pure tart cherry juice in the afternoon. You can even find it in dried form or as a soft supplement, but the closer to the real fruit, the better. Some seniors also enjoy adding frozen tart cherries to oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothies. There's no complicated preparation, no need to overhaul your diet, just a simple addition that could support your strength, stamina, and even your balance over time. And don't worry if you're managing blood sugar. Studies have found that tart cherries, despite being fruits, have a relatively low glycemic index and may actually support blood sugar control because of their polyphenol content. Of course, moderation is key, and it's always wise to check with your healthcare provider if you're managing diabetes or on medication. But for many seniors, tart cherries have become a quiet but powerful ally in their journey to feeling stronger. They're not a miracle cure, but they are a scientifically supported, easy-to-use food that helps combat one of the biggest threats of aging: muscle loss. Imagine this. You wake up after a week or two of including tart cherries in your routine. You stretch your legs, stand up from bed, and something feels just a little different. Your knees don't protest quite as much. You feel a touch steadier, and that walk to the kitchen feels lighter. That's the power of small steps adding up. And tart cherries can be one of those steps. Now, before we move into the next helpful foods and habits that can work alongside tart cherries to support your strength, let me pause for a moment, because if you've made it this far, it means something. It means you care, not just about your health, but about your future, your independence, your ability to keep walking tall and strong for the days and years ahead. And if that's you, if you're someone who wants to age with grace, energy, and confidence, I invite you to stay with us. This channel is built for people just like you, people who've worked hard their whole lives and now want to enjoy the rewards without being slowed down by fatigue, stiffness, or weakness. So if this message resonates with you, if you've ever felt a little unsteady on your feet, or woken up feeling like your legs weren't quite ready for the day, please take a moment right now to click that like button. It's a simple gesture, but it helps tell YouTube that these kinds of conversations matter, that your health matters, that seniors deserve more answers, more support, and more strength. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you do, you'll get first access to every new video we post, all crafted specifically for people aged 55 and up. Every single video is made to empower you with tools, tips, and science-backed habits that help you stay independent and mobile. Oh, and here's a little something extra. Let's do a check-in with each other. If this video so far speaks to your experience, type the number 1 in the comments. Just a 1, that's all. It lets us know you're out there, that this information is helping. And if you haven't struggled with leg strength yet but want to stay ahead of the curve, type 0. There's no wrong answer, just a little sign that you're part of a community that cares. And if you've tried tart cherries before, in juice, dried, or fresh form, tell us your story. We read every comment, and your story might inspire someone else to make a change that saves their balance, their strength, or even prevents a fall. This is more than a health tip. It's a movement of seniors taking control of their well-being, one smart choice at a time. And we're honored to be a part of that journey with you. Now that you know how valuable tart cherries can be, the way they nourish your muscles, soothe inflammation, and protect you while you sleep, you might be wondering, is there anything else I can add to make this even more effective? The answer is yes. In fact, there are a few other simple foods and habits that, when combined with tart cherries, can form a powerful shield for your muscles as you age. Let's start with one that might be in your kitchen already: Greek yogurt. This creamy, tangy delight is far more than just a breakfast staple. For seniors, it's a muscle-preserving hero. Unlike regular yogurt, Greek yogurt is strained to remove excess whey, leaving behind a concentrated dose of protein, the very building block your muscles depend on. As we age, our body becomes less efficient at using protein to build and repair tissue. That means you actually need a bit more, not less, than you did in your younger years. 1 cup of Greek yogurt can offer up to 20 grams of high-quality protein, which is perfect for those post-walk afternoons, or as an evening snack before bed. And because it's soft and easy to digest, it's gentle on older stomachs. Just a few spoonfuls a day could help you wake up with legs that feel just a little more solid, a little more ready to move. Another quiet strength booster hiding in your kitchen is spinach. Now, I know some folks think of spinach as rabbit food, or something the grandkids push around on their plate. But don't overlook it. Spinach is loaded with nitrates, naturally occurring compounds that help widen blood vessels and improve blood flow to muscles. For seniors, this means better oxygen delivery to your legs, which can reduce fatigue and improve performance during daily activities. Whether you're climbing stairs or standing up from the couch, spinach can play a small but mighty role in making those moments feel easier. A handful in a smoothie or tossed into a soup can go a long way towards supporting circulation and strength. And then there's salmon, rich, tender, and bursting with omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats do more than support your heart and brain. They also help reduce chronic inflammation in the muscles. That's especially important if you're dealing with arthritis, joint stiffness, or soreness after basic movements. A few servings of salmon a week, or even canned salmon for convenience, could be just what your muscles need to stay limber and energized. Plus, the combination of protein and healthy fats makes it a perfect partner to tart cherries, enhancing overnight recovery. Let's not forget nuts, especially almonds and walnuts. These crunchy little treasures are packed with magnesium, a mineral that seniors often lack without even knowing it. Magnesium helps regulate muscle function, support nerve health, and even improve sleep, all crucial ingredients for preserving strength and coordination. When you combine the calming, sleep-promoting effects of tart cherry juice with a few magnesium-rich almonds in the evening, you're creating a bedtime routine that gently tells your muscles it's time to rest, recover, and rebuild. Finally, I have to share one habit that many seniors overlook: hydration. It might sound basic, but drinking enough water is one of the most underestimated tools for leg strength. You see, your muscles are about 75% water, and when you're even slightly dehydrated, they can start to cramp, stiffen, or feel heavy. Staying hydrated keeps your muscles flexible, your joints cushioned, and your blood flowing properly. Adding a splash of tart cherry juice to your water not only makes it more enjoyable, it also gives you that bonus dose of antioxidants that your legs love. It's a small ritual, but a powerful one. So when you think about your daily routine, don't just think about pills or big dietary overhauls. Think about your plate, your cup, your habits before bedtime. The solution doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as a spoonful of yogurt, a handful of spinach, a few nuts, and a tall glass of cherry-infused water. Together, these foods and practices form a kind of symphony, each one playing its part in keeping you strong, stable, and vibrant. You don't need to do everything at once. Just start with what feels easy. Over time, the results can be profound. You've made it to the end of this journey, and if you're still with me, that tells me something important. You care. You care about your legs, your energy, your freedom. You care about staying active, independent, and strong in a world that doesn't always make that easy. And the good news is, you've now got something incredibly powerful in your corner: knowledge. You've learned that losing muscle isn't just a part of aging. It's something that can be slowed, even reversed, with the right support. You now know that one tiny fruit, the tart cherry, holds the power to reduce inflammation, protect your muscles during sleep, and boost your strength day by day. You've discovered how it works with your body, not against it, how it soothes your soreness, improves your rest, and gently restores what time tries to take away. We've also walked through the everyday foods that quietly support this process: the smooth richness of Greek yogurt, the leafy power of spinach, the anti-inflammatory magic of salmon, the mineral strength of almonds, and even the healing simplicity of water. None of these require a major life overhaul. They don't demand perfection or sacrifice. They just ask for small, kind attention, a bit of care, a habit you build over tea, over breakfast, over a walk in the sunshine. You are not powerless. That ache in your knees, the heaviness in your legs, the fear of falling, those aren't signs that you're broken. They're signs your body is asking for help. And now you have answers. You have a way forward. You don't need to run marathons. You just need to take a step. Add one thing. Try one idea. And let that build into more freedom, more balance, more mornings where you get out of bed and think, today I feel steady. Because here's the truth. Your legs carry more than your body. They carry your independence, your dignity, your story. They've walked through decades of work, love, struggle, and joy. They deserve to be treated with care, and so do you. So tell me, what part of today's video surprised you most? Was it the power of tart cherries, the magnesium in almonds, or maybe how simple hydration plays such a huge role in muscle health? Type what you learned in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. And if you're ready for more stories, more science, and more support to help you age powerfully, lovingly tap that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the little bell so you never miss another moment of strength. Because you're not done. You're just getting stronger. And every bite, every sip, every step, it all adds up. Your muscles remember. Your body responds. And you are worth the effort. Your journey to stronger legs starts now. And I'll be right here, walking with you.